At this point, media criticisms have become polarizing. Every single new show, game or product of media is scrutinized so heavily that it almost makes discussing it a chore. Whether it is perfect in every single way or garbage because of the message. We are here to remind you that it's okay to like what you like. Are we here to reward you with hard-hitting analysis or 40,000 word video essays about how something is perfect? No, we're simply here to tell you that we are idiots and that we are easily entertained. 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 minute video discussing why we've enjoyed whatever we've enjoyed, because it feels like taking entertainment at face value and having a good time has been lost. And frankly, I'm incapable of the other part. I'm your host Ash, and I'm joined by Slater.
Hello!
And welcome to Easily Entertained. Today we're discussing Terrifier, the 2016 film written and directed by Damien Leone. Is Art the best slasher villain of the 21st century so far? Stay and find out.
And now the origins of Art the Clown. Art was originally created by Leone when he wanted to offer a complete opposite to the 1990s style Pennywise that was played by Tim Curry. It would originally appear in 2 short films directed by Damien Leone, The Ninth Circle in 2008, where he was only a minor character, but the viewers would say he was the most memorable part of the film overall. He would then make the 2011 short film Terrifier, where we would first see Art's pastimes of smearing shit and cruel homemade weapons as he chases a woman through the back roads after she sees him killing a fuel store worker. Leone then planned to make the full-length feature film after the success of the short film, before producers came to him asking to feature the 2 short films in an anthology film where Art would be the character that connects all the segments. All Hallows Eve would then come out in 2013, centering around a VHS tape that featured 3 short films in it, being watched by Sarah, played by Katie Maguire, as she looks after 2 kids, watching one of the films with them before sending them to bed, and watching the other 2 by herself. After finishing the films, Art comes out into the real world, murdering both the children and laughing as they are found by a horrified Sarah. Art in the shorts in All Hallows Eve was played by Mike Gianelli, but would retire from acting before the beginning of the Terrifier feature film, being replaced by David Howard Thornton, who says he was inspired by actors like Charlie Chaplin, Tim Curry, and Robert Englund, and the main inspiration being the different portrayals of the Joker.
Alright, so now after all the preamble, now we're a bit more loose, and now we're just going to go through the premise and pretty much an entire synopsis of the thing. Disfigured woman does a TV interview talking about the events of the previous Halloween. The interviewer mocks a disfigured woman and gets attacked as a result. Her eyes are gouged out. We then see Clown Shoes stood in front of a TV and proceeds to kick it, grabs a bag of weapons, and spots 2 women hovering over their car. They get pretty freaked out and go to a diner, and Art follows. He spends his time ogling Tara, the goth skeleton woman thingy.
This is her. She looks like this.
And presents her with a ring from the Gashapon machine, which she begrudgingly accepts whilst Art goes off and smears his shit all over the walls. And he spells his name. The owner chucks him out and the girls leave the diner, where Tara calls her sister Vicky, because Dawn's car tire has been mysteriously slashed.
He's menacing. Like, I'm gonna get a picture of him up on my screen. I wish I had done this before, because like he's just the actual figure himself.
I think like
just
he's so tall as well. He's tall and like pretty lanky, so it's just
like,
clad
it's
in
not
white
even...
and black, just really tall. And then you get the teeth.
It's not even his shoes, though. Like, his shoes aren't massive. Like, he is just a massive character as it is.
Yeah.
And, like, it's also, like, the little thing, like, the little top hat. I don't know what it is, like, when Dawn tries to put it, like, take it off and fucking slaps it on the floor. And it's just, the way he smiles at people as well. Like, even like, when...
The full set of chompers on display. Like, he smiles, that's a wide smile. Like, it's supposed to be all like, I mean, wait, no, it's not. It's supposed to be horrifying. But a part of me also goes, is he just trying to be adorable?
I think it's the scene where Dawn's trying to, like, well, they're still at the diner, and Dawn trying to take photos with him, and he just has this death stare at Tara. And it's like, holy fuck, what an imposing friend. David Thornton, I'll give it to him, because he plays such a fun role. Like, he manages to bring, like, the scariness, the fun. He mimes perfectly.
Yeah. No, it really is pretty impressive how he just... Like, he's... I don't know. I think it's compelling in how he does it, because he just kind of... you can go from being like, ah, look at him, he's just trying to smile, he's given this girl a ring, and then, you know, the teeth come out and you're like, oh shit. The second he gives them the ring and then he goes to smear his shit everywhere, I remember we were just like, run, fucking leave now.
Why are you still in this diner? Run. Meanwhile, Art has turned the owner's face into a pumpkin and proceeds to cut the worker's hand off and slaps an ice into his face for good measure. Tara and Dawn are waiting in the car, but Tara needs to go pee. So goes into the spooky-ass warehouse, which is now the location for the rest of the movie.
At this point, it's probably talk about the warehouse and how this is, like you said, genuinely where the rest of the movie takes place.
I think it's weird because half of it's a warehouse and the other half looks like just a standard house. And then there's also... see where the bathroom is, where Dawn goes to pee?
Yeah.
Why is that bathroom, like...
so full of shit?
And it's run down to fuck. And then you see, like, when what's the exterminator, Matt, when he's... Is it Matt or Mike? Mike.
It's
like
Mike.
Mike the exterminator, yeah, when he's doing like all the exterminating stuff. Like, he goes to, like, he's just in this lovely building. Like, how does it go from such a nice building to such a shithole so quickly?
And also, just thinking about it, I just realised the cat lady is doing all that shit. She is the grotty fucker who's shitting all over that bathroom. It's just one person.
There's a cat lady, she's coming in a minute.
Yeah. Toon character. First impression,
soon.
shit's everywhere. Yeah. Is it one set? Because there's so many different aspects. You have the cat lady's little tire bit.
Yeah.
You have the car lot aspect, I think is inside the warehouse.
You've got the big building where the exterminators are. You have the underground bit.
Yeah.
The underground tunnels.
Yeah. It's just, like, deceptively big. Back with Dawn and the radio pipes up saying there's been a double homicide at the diner they were just at. You know, she's a bit worried, but she's managing, and she's like, oh, it's fine, Tara's back. Tara's back, guys. It is not Tara. Not Tara. It's up. And he is smiling from ear to ear. Bloody gnashes in her face. The cat meows and Tara is, you know, finds her way towards the cat lady, also known as the lady who just shit up that fucking bathroom. Clean the shit, please. The cat lady is cradling her weird looking baby doll. It's albino and ginger. It's also not a real baby, unsurprising. Notes just say she's fucking mental. And Tara very quickly goes, yeah, nah, I'm out. And goes and hides in the car lot. But Art is on her tail again and is now pretty much dancing from car to car, trying to hunt her. He eventually catches up and stabs the fuck out of her leg. Tries to crush her face, but she stabs him in the side with a scalpel. She eventually gets caught after trying to call out to the bald man, but the bald man is too busy pest controlling or something. One mighty cum needle to the neck, and Tara gets tied up and is made to watch Dawn get sawn in half. Vagina first, of course. Right, talk about the cum needle.
How you meant to talk about something so majestic? Like, it was... The thing is, I don't know why it looks that colour. It's tranquilizer of some sort. Sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it is. But as we were watching it, you just burst out and said, cum needle! And I'm like, nah, it's ruined now.
It's because I watched Terrifier and I watched All Hallows Eve in the morning, and then watched Terrifier in the afternoon with you. And he uses the same needle in the first short film, in the Ninth Circle. And the second I seen it, my brain just went, cum needle. And I had to stop myself from laughing.
I mean, it is just white.
It's just
white.
It just looks like cum. Like it's the texture. It looks texturized. You know?
Texture.
It looks like it's got a texture to it, you know.
Oh god.
Rewatch the film and tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. In the comments, tell us if we're correct about the cum needle.
Fucking here it is on screen right now.
Experts required, please.
I'll zoom in closer just so you get better.
I suppose it's also a good time to bring up the practical effects, which are all done by, what, Damien Leone, we think?
Yeah, I think Damien Leone did it, but I probably should have done a bit more research, but he definitely helped do them.
So obviously Tara's sat in that chair, duct taped in the mouth, and she has to watch... I mean, first, this was before Art was genuinely, he had a hammer, went, oh, gonna hit you. Ah, just kidding. She's shitting herself. Absolutely losing her mind.
Yeah, then he takes out the saw, and then fucking threatens to fucking cut her throat with it as well. Like, he's a proper sicko.
He's mental. He really is. Yeah. But then he goes like a magician.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He unveils the curtain and goes, ah!
Dawn being sawed in half.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch, genuinely. I feel a little bit just because of how fucking like violent, disgusting.
But I think like it is disgusting, but it's also juxtaposed by fucking Art, who's like, just he's loving it. He's absolutely loving it. Like he seems so happy
throughout the film. For like the practical effects is like outrageously good.
I mean, you take like the amount of stuff that's already in fact, not much has already happened. I mean, you had the pumpkin earlier of the pumpkin head.
You've got the pumpkin. You've got the fingers exploding. You got the face of like the woman on the TV.
Yeah.
When she attacks the fucking Katie Maguire from from All Hallows Eve, whose name I can't remember what her actual name in this was. And she there's a part where like I can't show this again, obviously, but like you see like the eye just twitching, the tongue still trying to move, but the tongue's like about halfway out the mouth and just hanging on by a thread. It's outrageously impressive.
So like,
and the blood squirts. It looks so good for the budget.
The one thing I've always wondered about, how messed up in the head do these practical effects artists have to be? Like, to be like, well, your eyeball popping effect is good, but it's not mine. Mine's better. I've studied it more. Like, how done in do you have to be?
I guess a lot of it would also come from like crime research.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, because like that's probably the easiest way to figure out how this stuff would look is probably to examine corpses of actual events, which is very fucked up. But
it's really messed up. But
yeah.
I mean, hey,
it's mad impressive what they can do with some fucking prosthetics and just fake blood.
Yeah, I mean, plus I think also regarding the budget as well, considering like they had so little budget, but are pulling out these like really fucking incredibly made practical effects. Now we go back on to the post cum needle part of the movie.
My favourite part of the movie.
Show the cum needle to your friends.
Not in person, obviously. Tara stabs Art in the back and regains control. She smacks the fuck out of him with a 2x4, so she gestures for him to get up, so she can hit her finisher. This is a bad move though, as he pulls out the surprise gun and shoots her in the leg. But before he can finish the job, he runs out of ammo in his clip. He goes to collect another clip, but as he does, Dawn's phone lights up with a text from Vicky. So he tells her to come around the back and come in through the door. He loads the clip, walks back over to Tara, and finishes the job as he unloads about 15 bullets into her head.
At this point, just recognise the surprise gun supremacy.
Yeah, it's out of nowhere.
It's the best moment in the movie because she's suddenly gained control. She's like, yes, I'm fucking him up. He's on the floor. He's looking a bit pathetic. But she's like, no, you wait. You get up. Get up, motherfucker. I got you now. And then he just fucking goes into like a kneeling stance and just very quickly just whaps out that gun. It's like, what?
Yeah, he hides it in his boot. That's like he hides in his boot and pulls it out and just fucking.
He just
another beautiful practical effect as he shoots her film. The blood just sprays out. Film like it's done so well.
But I just, we watched it, just burst out laughing at the surprise gun.
It's out of nowhere. That's like it's what I love about the Terrifier film. But we'll get more into that later. Cat Lady catches this going down, and Art proceeds to give her a smile and wave. Cat Lady isn't a fan of this and tries to warn the bald man, but the bald man just wonders where the fuck this old woman has appeared from that stinks of shit. Before going back to her creepy fucking chamber to realise that her porcelain baby doll has been stolen. While Cat Lady goes hunting for her creepy fucking doll, Bald Man is snuck up on by Art, taking a hammer to the cranium. Vicky enters the building through the back, whilst the Cat Lady finds Art cradling her baby. And he feels a mother's touch, which results in a sucking of the thumb.
When given an option to act like a little baby, He sucks on that thumb.
It's such a he's such a strange character because he gets such childlike joy out of things and acts like a child sometimes, but on the other side he's just a ruthless fucking killer.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been one of the most compelling things. It's one of the things I've taken away from it most, is that, like, at some points you're like, ah, he's just got a little crush on this lady, and then he just fucking mutilates her or some shit, you know, like, just shoots about 10 bullets in her brain. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like I said, the thing that's been most entertaining is he just, like, mentally ill? Or is he just a child? And I still don't know. Maybe we'll find out in Terrifier 2. Vicky hears a distant phone and finds a body in this dark room. He thinks it's Tara, but instead it's the cat lady who's been scalped and de-titted. And Art is wearing both the scalp and the tits. Art chases her naked and moves like Leatherface when they're in woman mask, in like a weird like trance type state. Art beheads a random man who he's Bald Man's boss slash co-worker, and just punts his head across the floor. It's beautiful. I think that like hits the trike and it rings. So that makes Art decide that he wants to go for a little ride on his little trike.
The trike is by far the best.
Like we said, it's just kind of it's given enough room to breathe, so he does multiple circles and then like goes across the room.
It's the fact that you have Vicky trying to sneak behind cars away from him, and like it's like there's one scene where you see it through like a window and then through like a windscreen. It's just him cycling by, and it's just crack. It's so funny.
Like the only thing that they could have done it better is if they just had like the fucking Scooby-Doo shots where they just go between the rooms. You just see Art just going back and forth
between the cars.
Yeah, so the trike scene probably goes up there significantly. You know, it rivals the cum needle, rivals the surprise gun. It's like that extra. It's the extra bit where it makes Art a lot more charming, but still kind of has that little bit in your mind where once again, is he a sick fuck or is he just a child?
Yeah, but the thing is, the trike is also quite a clown thing. So is he also a clown? Is he just a clown because he's got a little trike?
Is Art the clown a clown?
No. Fuck it. No. Well, you know what I mean. So is it like the childlike thing, or is it just because he's a clown?
Yeah, I guess, you know, some clowns are like, yeah, is he just joking about, I guess. But initially it did just sound like, it's Art the clown a clown. Vicky finds a way to the end of the corridor where Art proceeds to catch up and tries to clean film her. Stretches that bad boy all over her face. Whilst we were watching this, it was initially like, just rip the bag. Just rip the fucking bag. Which she does. She breaks through the clean film and proceeds to stab Art in the foot with, it looked like a rail spike or something. But you know. And then we get the El Clasico. The Art special. A cheeky little middle finger. Vicky stumbles into the room that has Tara in it, and she just kind of like feels the grief. You know, she's like, aren't her eyes gone? She's got a bunch of holes in her head. But then Art brings out the beefy bastard, the whip. But it's not just a normal whip. It's made up of like so many different sharp, pointy objects.
Okay, I've done the research of what it had in it. It featured a pair of like those medical scissors.
Yeah.
2 small knives, like 2 like.
Like scalpel
like
type?
Bits of metal that he'd sharpened.
Yeah.
A sharpened gear. And another sharp object, but I didn't know what it was.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a syringe.
It wasn't a syringe. I thought it was earlier, but no, he only keeps those filled with cum. But like talk about his weapons, like even from the very beginning, like in the start of the film, you see him pack. He's got this black bag with him all the time.
Yeah.
And it is filled with fuck knows how many weapons.
I don't know how much I've seen, but I've imagined like I see like a secateur, you know, that you like cut like plants with and shit. I think I saw a pickaxe at some point. Anything you can imagine, it's probably in the bag.
He's used a hammer.
Mm.
He probably kept that road spike just because he was like, well, this thing's pretty fucking good.
Damn.
He's got the whip. He's got a scalpel that he used to stab her in the leg earlier as well.
He definitely had
There's
like
at
a
least-
big baseball bat.
Yeah, like he's got his gun as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Surprise.
got like what arsenal he has. Like look at Jason, he's got one weapon, maybe two. Freddy's got his finger knives. Like
I feel like
no, fuck that.
I'm prepared for this bitch.
As Art continues to whip Vicky, Baldman sneaks up behind Art and slams him to the head of a big container before picking up Vicky, looking at her wounds and carrying her away to another room where he proceeds to phone the police and try to get an ambulance out for Vicky. The operator tells them to stay where they are and remain calm, but Baldman isn't dealing with that shit, tries to get Vicky out of there. But of course they haven't actually killed Art, where Art comes in and caves the fuck out of his skull. Vicky, being your classic dumb final girl, manages to escape out of the building and then be like, I wonder where I should hide. Maybe back inside the building. Going to hide back inside the building, Art grabs her. Luckily, she manages to get away from him once again, before she hears the revving of a truck as the car slams through the door, mowing her down. This is where Art proceeds to get down on top of her and begin to consume parts of her face.
I think the most fun bit of this is they have another Art moment where he's turned on this car because I guess the bald man's boss probably left the keys in it. So he turns on the car and there's some music playing and then Art just kind of sits there just like jigging to it.
The police arrive mid-feast, and Art pulls another surprise gun moment, turning the gun on himself and blowing his brains out.
Out of all the three, would you rather Art surprise gun himself, cum needle himself, or trite himself?
Tripe himself.
Well, how does that happen? He just drives into a wall, falls out.
He just starts to cry because he's screaming.
Puts his thumb in his mouth and just... Oh.
He's just crying because he scraped his knee.
Stab him in the foot. Fuck no. Graze his knee.
The bodies get sent into a morgue, and Art reanimated strangles the doctor man to death. Art has a bit of flesh poking out of his head.
It's just a nice little detail, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's also probably the part of the skull that got shot off when he fucking pulled the trigger.
Yeah, it's kind of the question. It's the plot hole, just not plot hole. It's like the plot like hook. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, so he took a fucking bullet to the brain. Oh fuck. I mean, he also took a lot of damage as well. Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's also to the point in All Hallows Eve he comes out with a TV. And kills kids. Even though this is a spin-off,
Yeah.
so it's not connected. It's still like there's still a supernatural thing there too.
And it kind of
So it's like,
it is a thing with like most slasher villains where most of them are just like inhumanly going to take so much damage.
well, the thing is, so Art didn't take an outrageous amount of damage until he blew his brains out.
Yeah, but he didn't even really. I think it's the fact that he didn't even allude to like being in pain or whatever. Like he did the middle finger when he had a thing stabbed through his foot,
Yeah, the real
and he
spike.
kind of winced when he got stabbed in the side. And even when he was being beaten down by the 2x4, you know, he was still like in control. And after this time, we get a screen saying 1 year later, and well, someone's being discharged from hospital. And it turns around and they say the name Victoria, and it turns around that she was actually the deformed woman from the beginning. Also, the kind of fun bit, but I guess, I don't know if it's a sequel hook or not, but there's a close-up of Vicky's face. And it also like flashes with like an image of Art's face as well. Alright, so that was a full synopsis of Terrifier. A lot of the fun bits and a lot of the spooky bits. I mean, just as an overall outro, we can talk about the aspects we enjoyed and some of the aspects we didn't exactly, you know, fuck with, I guess. So yeah, what do you think? What do you?
Well, like the overall film is enjoyable. Like there's a good amount of comedy, there's a good amount of horror, but the overall spooky I'd say it's a lot more gory centered than it is like spooky centered, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody will be looking at that and being like, oh god, that was so scary. You just go, Jesus Christ, I hope I never run into anything like Art ever.
yeah, like Art is just a different, like, he's just a different creature. Like, I wouldn't compare him to any other slasher, and that's a really good thing at the same time.
I think
So
the only one
he's really set himself out.
yeah, the only one I really kind of think of is I think of just Freddy and like, well, basically the guys who he said he'd like based it on. You see Freddy because he's like funnily animated, and like charismatic, but like otherwise he is just, yeah, he's a different beast entirely.
Like he has taken what he said, which was a mix of Charlie Chaplin, Robert Englund, Tim Curry, and the Joker, and he's putting them all together into a very interestingly acted character.
I also think it is just a really apt, like, you can tell, you hear that and you're like, this all makes sense. It really shouldn't whatsoever, but it all really makes sense.
Would normal people be able to experience it and have as much fun as we did if they weren't that big into horror?
I mean, it would definitely be a bit of a struggle, but I think you would, I mean, the main point of the movie is to just say Art the Clown is a fucking menace. And I think it does that well enough.
I think most people will be able to handle most of it. Except for the sawing in half.
Yeah.
That's the one that's a bit too extreme. And maybe him like pretending to slit her throat a bit torturous. Like. Just that scene in general might be a bit much for most people.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. You got to imagine that. I think we're so removed from that aspect that it's just hard to like conjure up.
It's just after you watch Serbian film, everything's fine. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think just to conjure up the final key points of Damien Leone fucking made that movie, and so did whoever played Art.
David Howard Thornton.
Yeah.
I think Thornton, yeah.
Without, like, basically, you can tell it's a passion project, because even with such a minimal budget, they still managed to make this big cool setting and a fucking great killer with so many cool moments, with so many fun moments, so many like fancy kills that, like, you know, it takes a bunch of the main like slasher villains. It takes them fucking several movies to get out their fix of like the iconic moments, but you just have so many in just one film. And I suppose to fully wrap it up, is Art the best slasher villain of the 21st century so far?
I would only say I can think of one person who would be up there, and that's Leslie Vernon from Behind the Mask.
Yeah, see, the main issue with that question is, as cool as it sounds, slashers have been...
Yeah.
They've been pumped out like a motherfucker, but they haven't really been given so much love and crafted like this one probably was.
If it was like the 1980s or the 1990s, it'd be a fully different... Like, it'd be so hard to figure out, because... Like, well, what, you said the guy from Hatchet earlier.
Yeah, Victor Crowley.
Yeah, you thought of Victor Crowley, and I thought fucking Leslie Vernon.
Yeah.
But that's like the only two we could think of.
And that it's a big shame, it really is, because I mean, what do you think of the main slashers? Freddy and Jason have been in developmental hell since the last films were made in like 2009 and 2010. And otherwise you have Michael Myers, who he's had a resurgence, the trilogy, which has become the highest grossing slasher franchise, I believe, in history.
I'm not surprised.
And you want to know why? Because he's the only one that they're still making.
Chucky's still about.
Yeah, but Chucky kind of went down the direct-to-video route, and I doubt he'll be in cinemas anytime soon. I suppose just if you're still here at the end, watch Terrifier, and probably watch Terrifier 2.
It should be out on platform by the time I edit this.
Alright, so that has been easily entertained. I've been Ash.
I've been Slater.
And join us next time for whatever we proceed to do, and however long it takes for us to edit this down. Thank you. Bye-bye.